They called it the Temple of Power. At its peak, Battersea generated 20% of London's electricity, and it also made a big contribution to that smoggy funk that enveloped London in the mid-20th century. In 1983, it was finally decommissioned, given Grade 2 listed status and sold off for redevelopment, which didn't work out too well. Well, sadly, its smoke-belching days were actually its heyday. It's all been downhill since then. Pretty depressing waste, really, of one of the most iconic, most unique buildings in London. John Suchet reported on the first effort to turn it into a new Alton Towers.
The centrepiece of a giant leisure park, the development of which will begin later this year.
Except it didn't. They even drafted in Mrs. Thatcher to kick off the project, but it fell apart anyway. For the next 20 years, it was Groundhog Day.
Battersea Power Station is to be sold to a Hong Kong firm.
Now, is Battersea about to make an audacious bid to snatch the Millennium celebrations away from Greenwich?
Yet another set of plans to convert Battersea Power Station were unveiled.
Well, now we have another new project, another fresh start. But this time it's different, apparently.
There is enormous momentum in the area as a whole, and because of the momentum in the area as a whole, Battersea Power Station is just one of the sites in this 200-hectare piece of land. And the plans that the power station people have got are much more realistic and realisable.
16,000 new homes, shops, offices, a school, an extension of the Northern Line with 2 new stations. It would create 25,000 new jobs and transform a derelict stretch of the Thames. London Tonight can exclusively reveal that the government is about to formally approve those plans, so surely nothing can stop it now. Surely! Yeah, dream on. There's just the small matter of a £5.5 billion construction cost. The Irish developers behind the project came a bit of a cropper in the property crash. Most notable among them is flamboyant businessman Johnny Ronan. This is the Irish Treasury building in Dublin. It's also the headquarters of the so-called bad bank that the government set up to take on a lot of the toxic loans after the property bubble burst here. It's also where a lot of Johnny Ronan's loans are held, thanks to the generosity of the Irish taxpayer. The irony is, though, that Johnny Ronan actually co-owns that building. So while the Irish civil servants are beavering away in there trying to help out Johnny, he's actually charging them rent for the privilege of doing so. So perhaps Johnny Ronan's a little shy of the $5 billion that Battersea needs. He set off on a global roadshow to try to drum up investment for the project, and his company told us that they've had significant interest, but it is unclear if interest will turn into investment. Yet again, poor old Battersea's playing the waiting game. Glenn Goodman, London Tonight, Battersea.